Yes. Shabbat Shalom, everyone. And welcome. We're really glad to see everybody here for a very, very meaningful and important service as we commemorate another anniversary of the State of Israel. And we welcome our friends in Hadassah who will be presenting this service and speaking to us during the service about their activities and their programs. And we'd like to start off, as we do, warming up with a couple of songs to get into the spirit of the service. And these will be songs about Israel and relating to Israel. First one's kind of a quiet song, one of the many songs that we sing that honor the city of Jerusalem, and this one is appropriately called Yerushalayim. You have this in your leaflets if you would like to follow along and sing along if you know it. And it goes like this. Not Yerushalayim Shel Zahav yet. That's later. Me'al Pisgad Har Ha'atnim Eshtachaveh HaKapayim Me'al Pisgad Har Ha'atzofim Shalom Lach Yerushalayim Me'adorat חלמתי עלייך לזכות לראות באור פנייך. ירושלים, ירושלים, האירי פנייך לא נעייך. ירושלים, ירושלים, מחורבותייך אבני. מעל פסגת הר הצופים אשתחווה לך אפיים. מעל פסגת הר הצופים שלום לך ירושלים. מהדורות חלמתי עלייך לזכות לראות באור פנייך. ירושלים, ירושלים, האירי פנייך לפנייך. ירושלים, ירושלים, מחורבותייך אבני. And now, brighten things up in the next song, I hope. Song by Jeff Klepper called Coming Home.
Does everybody have shakers?
Let's shake to this one.
Start shaking.
Coming home to our people, coming home to our land, coming home for all directions, scattered like the sand, coming home to the future, to the place where we began, coming home, coming home, coming home. From the hills of Ethiopia came Beta Yisrael, a people with traditions, songs, and stories yet to tell. Because we stood together, they'll no longer be alone. Coming home, the Shalom, coming home. Coming home to our people, coming home to our land, coming home from all directions, scattered like the sand, coming home to our future, to the place where we began, coming home, the Shalom, coming home. From a city deep in Russia, a refusnik now is free. The years of waiting over, she rejoins her family. If we stand as one together, they will never be alone. Coming home, the Shalom, coming home together. Coming home to our people, coming home to our land, coming home from all directions, scattered like the sand, coming home to a future, to the place where we began, coming home, the Shalom, coming home, coming home, the Shalom, coming home, the Shalom.
Shabbat Shalom, everybody.
Shalom, Rabbi.
So we're here to celebrate, believe it or not, the 78th anniversary of the founding of the State of Israel. And I think every single one of those 78 years has engendered many, many emotions. And those of us who have lived, no matter how long we've been alive, no matter what portion of those years, we've been cognizant of the State of Israel. Every single year, there's so many mixed feelings and connections and deep-rooted feelings and just these past few years and this year in particular, just the fact that we're like on this huge roller coaster that we never seem to be able to get off of, and just having been through what we feel like we've also been part of since October 7th and a few years ago, and then this year watching people running to bomb shelters continually and being afraid of missiles and just the extreme uncertainty of life there. It's really hard for us to wrap our heads around and our hearts around. And but when all is said and done, we're one family. Say Kol Yisrael Aravim Zeh B'Zeh, all Israel is responsible one for the other. And so we're here to commemorate that connection, that responsibility that we feel for those in our sacred homeland. So we're going to begin our service I'd like to invite Ren Herman to come on up and open the doors of the Ark and the Ark curtain. Please rise in body or spirit. Please be seated. And I just wanted to add that every year I think, what are we going to say that's appropriate, that's inclusive of everybody's feelings and everything? And so we're so lucky that we have this joint service between our congregation and Hadassah, because Hadassah is the best possible thing for us all to focus on. And it's a mitzvah we can all do for the land of Israel. And it's something that we can all, every single one of us, get behind and support, no matter what our feelings are about anything else. So we're blessed to be able to share this experience every year with Hadassah. So now we're going to continue with some readings in our pamphlets here. I'd like to invite up Joan Klain, Robin Frisch, Barbara Alton, Anna Singer, and Kathy Kirstein.
Israel, a land, a people, a dream, a hope. On this special Shabbat, we celebrate Yom Ha'atzmaut, the Independence Day of Israel, celebrated annually on the 5th day of the Hebrew month of Ayah. It was on that date in the Hebrew year 5708, corresponding to May 14th, 1948, that the state of Israel was proclaimed. From the moment Israel was declared a state, it faced many challenges. With huge waves of immigrants after the war in Europe, Israel had to develop an economy and fertilize a barren land against a backdrop of constant aggression from its neighbors. Each decade brought with it hard-won successes.
We can't speak about the history of the state of Israel without telling the story of Hadassah. When Hadassah was founded in 1912, there was no state of Israel. Zionism was capturing the imagination of Jewish leaders worldwide. In Baltimore, an accomplished woman named Henrietta Sold encouraged a small group of Jewish women to work toward bringing much-needed medical care to Palestine. She named her organization Hadassah. It became one of the largest Jewish organizations in the world. On this special Shabbat, we remember this visionary woman who has inspired others to support and maintain the land and the people of Israel with practical Zionism, a caring and compassion that has become synonymous with Hadassah.
This organization that began in pre-state Israel as a tiny public health clinic with 2 nurses has flourished over a century into 2 world-class medical and research centers in Jerusalem, bringing advanced medical care to all, regardless of race, ethnicity, or nationality, earned Hadassah a nomination for a Nobel Peace Prize in 2005.
Hadassah established Israel's first teaching hospital, its first nursing, medical, and dental schools, and established the first cancer center, burn, trauma, and neonatal units, bone marrow transplantation center, and first stem cell research center in the country. The Hadassah Medical Organization houses Israel's national skin bank and the only bone marrow registry for Arabs in the world. Known for its promising work in regenerative medicine for diseases like MS, ALS, and Alzheimer's, Hadassah's pioneering medical research impacts all of humanity.
Hadassah has played an essential role in changing the face of Israel and setting standards of excellence in providing healthcare, education, youth programs, and jobs. We have transformed the land, cared for the environment, and remain devoted to improving the quality of life for all of the people of Israel. Hadassah's priorities have always been health, Israel, and advocacy. Our members are empowered to advocate for human rights and women's rights. Our members are making a difference in the lives of families everywhere. Our history is the history of Israel, and we are partners in its past, its present, and its future.
I'd like to invite Harriet Woolman, Mindy Stanley, and Bridget Skolnick to come up to light the Shabbat candles.
As we gather to celebrate Shabbat and the anniversary of the State of Israel, let us stop for a moment to listen to our hearts and our connections with our Jewish state. Imagine listening to Hebrew being spoken on the streets, listening to the voices of prayer rising from the Western Wall, listening to the prayers for peace coming from all corners of the state. And as we listen, let us rejoice in the peace and light of Shabbat. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam, asher kiddushanu b'mitzvotav v'tzivanu lahadlik ner shel Shabbat. Praised are you, O God, ruler of the universe, who has sanctified us by your commandments and commanded us to light Shabbat candles.
Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam, asher kiddushanu b'mitzvotav v'tzivanu lahadlik ner shel Shabbat. Amen, 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 amen.
O Heavenly One, protector and redeemer of Israel, bless the state of Israel that marks the dawning of hope for all who seek peace. Shield it beneath the wings of your love. Spread over it the canopy of your peace. Send your light and truth to all who lead and advise, guiding them with your good counsel. Establish peace in the land and fullness of joy for all who dwell there. Amen.
Pray for the peace of Jerusalem. May those who love you prosper. Let there be peace in your homes, safety within your borders. For the sake of my people, my friends, I pray you find peace. For the sake of the house of the Lord our God, I will seek your good.
We now continue in our prayer books, our Sidurim on page 146. Oh, actually, we continue on page 137 and 138 by welcoming the Shabbat bride with the singing of Lecha Dodi.
And you may shake along with our contemporary version of Lecha Dodi. I hope you'll sing along as well. Lecha Dodi, Lekrat Kala, B'nai Shabbat Nikabela. Lecha Dodi, Lekrat Kala, B'nai Shabbat Nikabela. Shamor v'zachor v'dibur echad Yishmiyanu el am yuchad Adonai echad u'shemo echad L'shemu tiferet v'litila Lecha Dodi Lekrat Kala B'nai Shabbat Nikabela. Lecha Dodi Lekrat Kala B'nai Shabbat Nikabela. Verse 5. Itoreri, Itoreri, Mibaorei Umi Ori Uri Uri Shedaberi Kibod Adonai Alaye Igla Lecha Dodi Lekrat Kala B'nai Shabbat Nikabela. Lecha Dodi Lekrat Kala B'nai Shabbat Nikabela. Last verse. Hoi v'shalom Ateret ba'ala Gam v'simcha U'sahola Toho emunei Am segula Kala, Kala, Lecha Dodi, Lekrat Kala, B'nai Shabbat Nikabela. Lecha Dodi, Lekrat Kala, B'nai Shabbat Nikabela. B'nai Shabbat Nikabela.
And now we continue with the next section of our service, the Shema U'Virchoteha, which you may find on page 146. Please rise in body or spirit as we continue with the Baruch Hu, our call to worship. Praise Adonai, to whom praise is due forever. Praise be Adonai, to whom praise is due now and forever.
Baruch Hu et Adonai Hamavorach Baruch Adonai Hamavorach Leolam Va'ed.
Page 148. Continue on the top, at the bottom in the English. Blessed are you, Adonai, our God, ruler of the universe, who speaks the evening into being, skillfully opens the gates, thoughtfully alters the time and changes the seasons, and arranges the stars in their heavenly courses according to plan. You are creator of day and night, ruling light away from darkness and darkness from light, transforming day into night and distinguishing one from the other. Adonai Tzvaot is your name. Ever-living God, may you reign continually over us into eternity. Blessed are you, Adonai, who brings on evening. Baruch atah Adonai Hama'ariv Aravim, page 150.
Ahavat Olam Beit Yisrael Amcha Ahavta Amcha Ahavta Torah u'mitzvot Chukim u'mishpatim Otanu lemadita Otanu lemadita Al Kain Adonai Eloheinu bishakvenu uvkumenu nasiach bechukecha v'nismach b'divrei Toratecha uv'mitzvotecha le'olam va'ed ki hem chayinu v'yorech yameinu Uvahem nege yomam v'layla nege yomam v'layla V'ahavatcha al tasir mimenu le'olami Baruch atah Adonai ohev Amo Yisrael Ohev Amo Yisrael.
Praise to you, Adonai, who loves your people Israel. Page 152 and 153. Continue with the Shema. Hear, O Israel, Adonai is our God, Adonai is one. Blessed is God's glorious majesty forever and ever.
Shema Yisrael, Adonai Eloheinu, Adonai Echad. Baruch Shem Kevod Malchuto Leolam Va'ed. You may be seated. Please join me on page 154, the V'ahavta. V'ahavta et Adonai Elohecha b'chol levavcha u'v'chol nafshecha u'v'chol me'odecha v'hayu hadvarim ha'ele asher anochi mitzavcha hayom al levavecha v'shinantam levanecha v'dibarta bam b'shivtecha b'vetecha uv'lechtecha v'derech uv'shachpecha uv'kumecha uv'kshartam le'ot al yadecha v'hayu letotafot ben enecha uchtavtam al mezuzot betecha ובשעריך, למען תזכרו ועשיתם את כל מצוותיי, והייתם קדושים לאלוהיכם. אני אדוני אלוהיכם, אשר הוצאתי אתכם מארץ מצרים, להיות לכם לאלוהים. אני אדוני אלוהיכם.
Together, you shall love Adonai your God with all your heart, with all your soul, and with all your might. Take to heart these instructions with which I charge you this day. Impress them upon your children. Recite them when you stay at home and when you are away, when you lie down and when you get up. Bind them as a sign on your hand, and let them serve as a symbol on your forehead. Inscribe them on the doorposts of your house and on your gates. Thus you shall remember to observe all my commandments and to be holy to your God. I am Adonai your God, who brought you out of the land of Egypt to be your God. I am Adonai your God, Adonai Elohechem Emeth. Now we continue on page 158 with the singing of Mi Chamocha, the song the Israelites sang when they crossed the Red Sea to freedom from Pharaoh's grip on their way to the promised land.
Shake along, right? Mi chamocha ba'elim Adonai, mi chamocha nekar b'kodesh. Mi chamocha ba'elim Adonai, mi chamocha nekar b'kodesh. Nora de'ilo oseh pele, Nora de'ilo oseh pele, Adonai yimloch leolam va'ed. Adonai yimloch leolam va'ed. Malchutecha ra'u banecha, lo k'yayam lifnei Moshe u'Miriam, ve'eli anu v'yamaru, ve'eli anu v'yamaru. Adonai yimloch leolam va'ed. Adonai yimloch leolam va'ed. Adonai yimloch leolam va'ed.
Thus it is said, Adonai redeemed Jacob from a hand stronger than his own. Praised are you, Adonai, for redeeming Israel. Baruch atah Adonai Ga'al Yisrael. Continue with the Hashkivenu prayer on page 160, and this is the prayer asking God to create a shelter of peace around us. And it's natural that tonight we think of the people in the land of Israel, and we ask that God send a special shelter of peace and safety around all of them.
Hashkivenu Adonai Eloheinu l'shalom, v'hamidenu shamrenu l'chayim. Hashkivenu Adonai Eloheinu l'shalom, v'hamidenu shamrenu l'chayim. Ushmor tzeiteinu uvoeinu l'chaim u'shalom me'ata v'ad olam. Hashkivenu Adonai Eloheinu l'shalom, v'hamidenu shomrenu l'chaim. Hashkivenu Adonai Eloheinu l'shalom, v'hamidenu shomrenu l'chaim.
At the top of page 161. Let there be love and understanding among us. Let peace and friendship be our shelter from life's storms. Adonai, help us to walk with good companions, to live with hope in our hearts and eternity in our thoughts, that we may lie down in peace and rise up waiting to do your will. Baruch atah Adonai, hapores sukat shalom, aleinu ve'al kol amo Yisrael, va'al Yerushalayim. Continue on page 162 with the singing of Vishamru.
Vishamru b'nei Yisrael et ha-Shabbat va'asot et ha-Shabbat l'dorotam b'rit olam. Vishamru b'nei Yisrael et ha-Shabbat va'asot et ha-Shabbat l'dorotam b'rit olam. B'nei uvein B'nei Yisrael, Odi le'olam. V'shamru b'nei Yisrael et ha-Shabbat va'asot et ha-Shabbat l'dorotam b'rit olam. Ki sheshet yamim asa Adonai et ha-shamayim ve'et ha'aretz. V'shamru b'nei Yisrael et ha-Shabbat va'asot et ha-Shabbat l'dorotam b'rit olam. Uvayom hashvi'i shavat vayinafash, Shabbat vayinafash. V'shamru b'nei Yisrael et ha-Shabbat va'asot et ha-Shabbat l'dorotam b'rit olam.
We turn to page 164 as we rise in body or spirit for the tefillah.
Anananananana Adonai. Ananananana Sfatai Tiftach. Ananananana Ufi Yagid Tehilatecha. Ananananana Adonai. Ananananana Sfatai Tiftach. Ananananana Ufi Yagid Tehilatecha. Ananananana Adonai. Ananananana Sfatai Tiftach. Ananananana Ufi Yagid Tehilatecha. Ananananana Adonai. Ananananana Sfatai Tiftach. Ananananana Ufi Yagid Tehilatecha. Ananananana Adonai. Ananananana Sfatai Tiftach. Ananananana Ufi Yagid Tehilatecha. Ananananana Adonai. Ananananana Sfatai Tiftach. Ananananana Ufi Yagid Tehilatecha. Page 166. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu ve'Elohei avotenu ve'imotenu Elohei Abraham Elohei Yitzchak ve'Elohei Yaakov Elohei Sarah Elohei Rivka Elohei Rachel ve'Elohei Leah Ha'el Hagadol Hagibor v'Hanorah El Elyon Gomel Chasadim Tovim V'konei hakol וזוכר חסדי אבות ואימהות, ומביא גאולה לבני בניהם, למען שמו באהבה. מלך עוזר ומושיע ומגן, ברוך אתה אדוני, מגן אברהם ועזרת שרה. Page 168. אתה גיבור לעולם אדוני, מחיי הכל אתה רב להושיע, מחלקי חיים בחסד, מחיי הכל ברחמים רבים, סומך נוכלים ורופא חולים, ומתיר אסורים, ומקיים אמונתו לשני עפר. מי כמוך בעל גבורות, ומידו מלך, מלך ממי ומחיה, ומצמיח ישועה, ונאמן אתה להחיות הכל. ברוך אתה אדוני, מחיי הכל. Page 170. אתה קדוש ושמך קדוש, וקדושים בכל יום יהללוך סלה. ברוך אתה אדוני, האל הקדוש.
We continue on page 552, Larry Kirstein and Michael Singer. Avinu Shabashamayim, Tzur Yisrael v'goalo, Barech et Medinat Yisrael, Reshit Smichat Geulatenu, Hagen Aleha be'evrat chasdecha, Ufros Aleha sukat shlomecha, Ushlach orcha v'amatcha l'roshoteha, V'sareha v'yowatzeha, V'taknim be'etzat tova milfanecha, V'natata shalom ba'aretz, V'simchat olam liyoshaveha, V'nomar Amen.
Yes. O Heavenly One, Protector and Redeemer of Israel, bless the state of Israel, which marks the dawning of hope for all who seek peace. Shield it beneath the wings of your love. Spread over it the canopy of your peace. Send your light and truth to all who lead and advise, guiding them with your good counsel. Establish peace in the land and fullness of joy for all who dwell there. Amen.
Page 555.
In the return to Zion of our time, your people gathered in your land to build it up and to be built up themselves. They established this Independence Day as a festival of joy, thanksgiving, and praise to you. As you perform miracles for our ancestors, do likewise for us, saving us now as you did then.
You may be seated. We continue now with the singing of Shalom Rav, which you may find on page 178.
Shalom Rav al Yisrael Amcha, Tasib Leolam. Shalom Rav al Yisrael Amcha, Tasib Leolam. Ki atahu melech adon, bechol hashalom. Ki atahu melech adon, bechol hashalom. Shalom Rav al Yisrael Amcha, Tasib Leolam. Shalom Rav al Yisrael Amcha, Tasib Leolam. V'tov be'enecha levarech et Amcha Yisrael. B'chol עת ובכל שעה, לשלומך. Shalom Rav al Yisrael Amcha Tasim Leolam. Shalom Rav al Yisrael Amcha Tasim Leolam. Tasim Leolam. Tasim Leolam.
Together, grant abundant peace to Israel, your people forever, for you are the sovereign God of all peace. May it be pleasing to you to bless your people Israel in every season and moment with your peace. Blessed are you, Adonai, who blesses your people Israel with peace. Baruch atah Adonai, hamvarech et amo Yisrael bashalom. Continue on page 371 with the Misha Beirach Get Well prayer. May the one who blessed our ancestors Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob, Sarah, Rebecca, Rachel, and Leah, bless and heal all of those who are ill. As I look across the room, you may say the names aloud of those you'd like us to keep in our hearts and our minds. We prepare to recite the Get Well prayer.
Michael Nussbaum, Robert Nussbaum, Jim Quinn, Douglas Rose, Joel Willis.
Randy Oldenburg.
We also think of all of those who have been injured over the past few weeks in the Middle East, all those innocent victims, and all of those who are still recovering from their wounds of the past few years. May the Blessed Holy One be filled with compassion for their health to be restored and their strength to be revived. May God swiftly send all of them a complete renewal of body and spirit, and let us say, Amen.
Mishebeirach Avotinu Mekor Habracha Leimotenu. May the source of strength, who bless the ones before us, help us find the courage to make our lives a blessing, and let us say, Amen. Mishebeirach Imotenu Mekor Habracha La'avotenu. Bless those in need of healing with refuah shleimah, the renewal of body, the renewal of spirit, and let us say, Amen.
We pause for a moment of silent prayer. Now we continue on the bottom of page 180 with the singing of Oseh Shalom, another song for peace.
Oseh Shalom Bimromav Aseh Shalom Aleinu Ve'al Yisrael Vimru Amen. Oseh Shalom Bimromav Aseh Shalom Aleinu V'yakol Yisrael
ממרומיו, הוא יעשה שלום עלינו ועל כל ישראל, ואמרו אמן. עושה שלום במרומיו, הוא יעשה שלום עלינו ועל כל ישראל, ואמרו אמן.
Well, Shabbat Shalom again, everybody. So my job is to introduce Phyllis, who is going to come up here and introduce Kim, but not so fast. Phyllis has done all the things in Hadassah that you could possibly do, and she's our matriarch and our stalwart member of our community from beginning to end, and she's our rock. But I'm not going to talk about her now. I'm going to talk about Michael, who I have to talk about him every single year, about Michael, Phyllis's late husband and our late past president of our congregation, beloved temple member. To just remember him always sitting in the back row, cupping his hand around his ear to listen to every blessed word I said, and often nodding in agreement and sometimes not nodding in agreement. But he was such a lover of the state of Israel. And so we have the Michael H. Burlow Memorial Award in his memory because Israel was like the most precious place for him, and he had such tremendous love for the Jewish state. And so every year on this occasion, we have to remember Michael and just the passion he had for our Jewish homeland, and it's something that we should all continually aspire to have, that kind of feeling for the state of Israel. So now I'm ready for you. Now here's Michael's wife. You're welcome.
Okay, that's great. Okay.
That's not good.
No, it's not a good thing.
No, don't think that's I'm gonna applaud that. I'm not going to.
You just stole my whole speech.
Oh.
Shabbat Shalom, everyone. It's lovely to look out and see all these faces, some familiar, some new faces, and all of you are more than welcome to celebrate with us anytime you like. Once again, Hadassah Shawsheen Valley and Temple Shalom Emeth have come together to celebrate another anniversary of the State of Israel. And as the rabbi said, this service also remembers Michael Burlow, past president of this temple and a proud Hadassah associate. And yes, there are men who are in Hadassah. Michael and I went to Israel with Hadassah for the first time in 1987. And the simple act of planting a tree on the hillside of one of our hospitals brought him to tears. It affected him deeply, and he hoped that everyone someday would have the pleasure of experiencing the history and the beauty of this remarkable land. Tonight's service celebrates the many accomplishments of Hadassah, both in the United States and in Israel. Every leader in Hadassah is an educated and empowered woman, and tonight's speaker is a perfect example. Kim Major, the current president of the Northern New England region of Hadassah, and I'm sure she'll explain what that means. She's also the former president of this temple and its sisterhood. She is a graduate of Brandeis and the Maya course, which involves 100 hours of Jewish learning. And she is a skilled manager in the software industry, all of which have enhanced her leadership abilities. And we are delighted, and I am particularly delighted and honored to call Kim Major to be with us this evening. No. Naughty, naughty. I'm trying to be so independent.
No,
here.
nobody wants you to be
Thank
independent.
you.
Shabbat Shalom. I'm really happy that both the rabbi and Phyllis talked about memory, because that's part of my discussion tonight, that this is what Jews do. We remember. Each spring, the Jewish calendar guides us through a powerful journey, one that moves from mourning to memory and ultimately to celebration. In the span of just a few weeks, we observe Yom HaShoah, the Holocaust Remembrance Day, Yom HaZikaron, Israel's Memorial Day, and Yom HaAtzmaut, which is what Israel's Independence Day that we're celebrating today. In fact, Yom HaZikaron ends at sundown, and Yom HaAtzmaut begins the same day at sundown. These 3 days taken together form a deeply emotional arc that reminds us of our collective history, our resilience, and our ongoing commitment to Jewish life and continuity. This was the emotional arc intended by the committee formed under Prime Minister David Ben-Gurion in 1951, which established these days in tandem to acknowledge that the young soldiers being remembered are, in the words of the poet Natan Alterman, and I'm not doing it in Hebrew, the silver platter on which the Jewish state was given. Unfortunately, since October 7th, we have many more Jews, innocents, and soldiers worldwide to memorialize. Our people are a people of remembrance. We will never forget. We keep traces of our past, and we commemorate both the good and the dark times of our history. Hadassah is proud of its long history. More than a century ago, Hadassah set up clinics and hospitals in pre-state Israel, curing blindness, containing the 1918 pandemic, and saving women from a 50% maternal death rate. From trauma to healing, Hadassah has been helping people heal in Israel and around the world through medical care, research, and rehabilitation. Hadassah protects the sanctity of life of the Jewish people and all peoples, and we have redoubled our efforts to model behavior antithetical to that of our enemies. Once again, as it has countless times since its founding, Hadassah has intensified its effort to support Hadassah hospitals and Youth Aliyah villages. This support is in line with Hadassah's core mission, the healing of the people of Eretz Yisrael. For Hadassah, 2025 meant another year of life-changing impact, from pioneering life-saving medical procedures and standing up to anti-Semitism, to advocating for women's health and building bridges to peace. We have much to be proud of and much to remember. And 2026 is proving to be just as impactful. Hadassah has been recognized not once, but twice for excellence. The leading journal Nature named Hadassah Medical Organization the #1 hospital in Israel for scientific output and ranked it among the top 200 institutions worldwide. And the Israel Health Ministry ranked HMO first in Israel for significant healthcare system achievements. We're grateful to everyone who helps make Hadassah shine. Since 1933, when the Youth Aliyah movement first began, and Henrietta Zoll was there to welcome every train that came in with children, Hadassah has been supporting its Youth Aliyah villages. We are proud of our recent improvements, including extensive renovations in 2024 to the Mea Shveya Youth Aliyah village near Haifa, when their psychological therapy center was dedicated. Hadassah Nurim Youth Aliyah village near Netanya also opened a spacious, redesigned emergency shelter that has been used a lot recently around the same time. That shelter serves as a secure space and command center during emergencies and as a leisure and activity space year-round. In response, For the urgent need for rehabilitation services for Israel's wounded soldiers and civilians, Hadassah opened the Gandel Rehabilitation Center at Hadassah Hospital, Mount Scopus in January 2024. Our 8-story center offers a host of special therapies, including physical and occupational therapy, physiotherapy, hydrotherapy, and respiratory and orthopedic rehabilitation. In 2025, under Kathy and several others, our Northern New England region raised over $36,000 to purchase a TheraTrainer Balo, an apparatus that provides upper body support to help wounded soldiers and civilians learn to walk again. The very specialized equipment also helps those with neurodegenerative diseases safely practice walking. The Gandel Rehabilitation Center also houses a PTSD center and offers rehabilitation for neurological problems caused by brain, spinal cord, and nervous system injuries. Since the October 7th attack and the wars that followed, there have been a dramatic increase in the need for rehabilitative care among wounded civilians and soldiers. Previous to October 7th, the average age of a person needing rehabilitation services was 51 in Israel. It is now 21. Here in the United States, Hadassah is an outspoken advocate. As a global humanitarian organization, Hadassah remains committed to standing up for women everywhere. Partnering with Jewish Women International and the National Council of Jewish Women, Hadassah honored the Jewish women of the 119th Congress for advocating to strengthen the U.S.-Israel relationship, fight hatred and anti-Semitism, and champion women's and public health. On March 10th, I joined over 200 Hadassah women to advocate Hadassah's mission on Capitol Hill in Washington, D.C. It was my first time advocating, and my group met with legislative aides for Representative Finstad of Minnesota, Auchincloss of Massachusetts, Neal of Massachusetts, and Pappas of New Hampshire. These aides told us how glad they were to speak with us and emphasized the importance of in-person visits. They promised to bring our requests to their representatives. We learned that talking with the legislative aides is almost as important almost more important actually, than meeting with the representatives themselves, as the aides are the ones who distill all the information and requests for their representatives. It was really an amazing time for all of us. We focused on 3 critical areas. The Miracle Act, HR 661, advancing U.S. medical innovation, Israel medical innovation, like the cutting-edge organoid research at Hadassah Hospital. My Body, My Data Act, HR 3916, protecting the privacy of women's health data and period tracking software. And the Pray Safe Act, HR 5645, increasing security funding for houses of worship. During lunch, 4 senators talked to us about our commitment to fighting anti-Semitism and their continued support for the U.S.-Israel relationship. The entire day was bipartisan and non-political. We spoke with Democrats and Republicans, and the results were the same: strong support for the initiatives and issues that Hadassah emphasizes. Last year, I talked about the tremendous upsurge in anti-Semitism in the United States and across the world. This was also an important topic we discussed with the legislative aides in Washington on the 10th. Hadassah is heavily involved in advocating against anti-Semitism. We know that anti-Semitism anywhere is a threat to Jews everywhere. Our advice to you is to take action. Hadassah provides a National Action Center to help you make your voice heard. The National Action Center provides you with an easy way to let your congresspeople know your opinions on the issues that matter to both Hadassah and to you, including advocating to expand access to infertility care, increasing funding for nonprofit security, the Nonprofit Security Grant Program, helping keep our synagogues safe, and fighting against anti-Semitism. Raise your voice, in support of Israel, the Jewish community, and women in the world, and the U.S. And finally, always be proud, confident, and undeterred. There's an entire community of Hadassah standing with you. Together, we stand strong. Shabbat Shalom.
That was amazing, Kim, and very thoughtful and so informative. And I think it makes all of us feel so proud to be connected with Hadassah, and it's always good to remember all the good work that we all do, that you all do. And one image I have recently is I just can't get out of my mind seeing Hadassah building underground shelters, surgery suites, and all kinds of having to bring all kinds of equipment deep underground to avoid the missile attacks. And just Henrietta Zold would never have imagined that this is how Hadassah would evolve, to having to bring everything underground and to be secure. So it's just amazing what the organization's doing, and I just hope that we're as generous as we can be and as helpful as we can be in advocating to support for Hadassah and also the state of Israel. So thank you very much. And I believe we have a couple of songs now.
Have them in your leaflets, and I'm sure by this time you're familiar with some of them. So we'd like to sing the song that we thought we might be singing before when we said Yerushalayim. This is Naomi Shemer's song, Yerushalayim Shel Zahav. We like to do the verses in English and the chorus in Hebrew. And the first verse is the first verse of the song that she wrote just before in the time before the 67 war, the 6-day war, when East Jerusalem was closed off and not accessible to Israelis and Jews. And she was finished with that song, but then the after the war, when we were able to annex Jerusalem again, and it opened up, she wrote a very hopeful verse for that, which is the second verse that we sing, Yerushalayim Shel Zahav. As clear as wine, wind is flying above the streamy pines, as evening light is slowly dying, and a lonely bell still chimes. So many songs, so many stories, the stony hills recall. Around her heart my city carries a lonely ancient wall. Yerushalayim shel zahav, v'shel nechoshet, v'shel or, halo lecho shirayis hanikinu. Yerushalayim shel zahav, v'shel nechoshet, v'shel or, halo lecho shirayis hanikinu. Back to the wells and to the fountains within the ancient walls. The sound of horn from Temple's mountain again so loudly calls. From rocky caves this very morning 1,000 suns will glow, and we shall go down to the Jordan by way of Jericho. Yerushalayim shel zahav, v'shel nechoset, v'shel or, v'chol nechol shirayis anihino. Yerushalayim shel zahav, v'shel nechoset, v'shel or, halo lecho shirayis anikino. And now, we ask everyone to get up and form a circle as we're about to dance the hora to the next song. Well, I guess we can't in this room, but we can imagine. And I know Mindy and others have danced to this song. Another song about Jerusalem, this one called Lach Yerushalayim, to you, Jerusalem. Hope you'll sing along and shake along if you have your shake along. Lach Yerushalayim, Bein Ha'ir. Lach Yerushalayim, Or Chadash Ya'ir. Bilibenu Rav Shir Echad Kayam. Lach Yerushalayim, Bein Yadin Bayam. Lach Yerushalayim, Shir Nisatami. Lach Yerushalayim, Ir Migdal David. Bilibenu Rav Shir Echad Kayam. Lach Yerushalayim, Bein Yadin Hayam. Lach Yerushalayim, Bein Yadin Hayam.
Now we're going to continue our service with the Elenu on page 586. Ren, would you mind coming back up to open the Ark curtain? Please rise in body or spirit.
Aleinu l'shabeach la'adon ha'kol, latet gedula liyotzed bereshit, shelo asanu kigoyei ha'aratzot, velo samanu k'mishmachot ha'adama, shelo sam chelkenu kahem, v'gohoranenu kichol hamonam, va'anachnu korim, umishtachavim, Umodim Lifnei Melech Malchei Hamlakim HaKadosh Baruch Hu. And join me at the top of page 588. Shehu noteh shamayim v'yoser haaretz, u'moshav yikaro b'shamayim mima'al, u'shchinatu zo b'gavhei meromi, u'Eloheinu ein od, emet makenu efes zulato, kakahatu b'torahato, V'yadata hayom v'hashivota elevavecha, ki Adonai hu ha'Elohim b'shamayim mima'al, v'a'aretz mitachat ein od. Join me at the top on page 591 as we sing the V'ne'emar and Bayom Hahu. You may shake to this one. V'ne'emar v'haya Adonai v'melech al kol ha'aretz, Bayom Hahu yihyeh Adonai echad u'shemo echad. V'ne'emar v'haya Adonai l'melech hakol ha'aretz, Hayom hahu yihyeh Adonai echad u'shemo echad. Hayom hahu yihyeh Adonai echad u'shemo echad. Hayom hahu yihyeh Adonai echad u'shemo echad. V'ne'emar v'haya Adonai l'melech hakol ha'aretz, Hayom hahu yihyeh Adonai echad u'shemo echad. Echad u'shemo echad. Echad u'shemo echad.
We continue now with the introduction to the Kaddish prayer on page 599. We think of our loved ones whom death has recently taken from us, those who died at this season in years past, and those whom we have drawn into our hearts with our own. We recall Adam Applebaum, who died last week, and our condolences to Susie and his Aunt Carol, who are here. And we add to his name the names of those whose yahrzeits occur this week: Dr. George Baden, Bernice Brown. And at this time, if there are names of others you'd like us to keep in our hearts and our minds, we prepare to recite the Kaddish. You may say their names aloud or in your hearts as we look across the room.
Brian Smith.
We also recall all those who gave their lives defending the state of Israel and all those innocent people who were caught in the crossfire. Zichronam livracha, may all of their memories be for a blessing. We turn to page 598 and rise to recite the Kaddish prayer. Yitgadal v'yitgadash shmei rabbah, b'alma divrach yirutev yamlich malchutei, b'chaye chon uvyomei chon v'chaye dechol beit Yisrael, ba'agala uvizman kariv v'imru amen. Yehei shmei rabbah mevarach le'olam olmei almaya, yitbarach v'yishtabach v'yitpa'ar v'yitramam v'yitnaseh, V'yitadar v'yitaleh v'yitalal shmei d'kudesha barichu la'ela min kol birchata v'shirata tushpechata v'nechamata damiran b'alma v'imru amen. Yehei shlama rabba min shmaya v'chayim aleinu v'al kol Yisrael v'imru amen. Osei shalom b'mromav hu ya'aseh shalom Aleinu ve'al kol Yisrael v'imru amen. May the one who creates harmony on high bring peace to us, to our country, to Israel, to all Israel and all the world, as we say together, amen. Please be seated. Now I'd like to call on Robin Frisch, our temple president, for the announcements.
Check my phone. I can grab my phone.
Oh, here they are. Oh. Too many pieces of paper.
Shabbat Shalom. It's so good, again, like Phyllis said, to look out and see all of you. And we have lots coming up. We're very excited about Sunday. This Sunday, April 26th, is our sisterhood brunch. And we're going to have charcuterie boards, if I said that correctly. It's going to be very exciting. On Friday, May 1st is a Simply Shabbat at 7 p.m. Saturday, May 2nd, is our last Shabbat Yelodim for this year, the Children's Shabbat with Miss Veranda and Mr. Ben Silver with the children and their families. Okay. Friday, May 8th is another Simply Shabbat at 7 p.m. A very meaningful service on Friday, May 15th, the Bernard Nelson Award service. We're going to be honoring Jen Snyder, very deserving, and it's going to be just a very meaningful, wonderful service. And then on Friday, May 22nd, another joyous occasion, a confirmation Shabbat at 7 p.m. So a lot coming up, and we hope to see many of you, not all of you, there. Thank you.
So May 8th was going to be a Simply Shabbat service, but some of you know this and some of you don't. The Shafetz family, in memory of Michael Shafetz, who died a number of months ago, has given our temple a donation of $100,000. And we are retiring the mortgage for our congregation, for our building. very, very exciting, and they're going to be purchasing our new yard site board back there, and they're going to be establishing a fund for our religious school. So this is very, very, very exciting news for all of us who have dreamed of the day when we would not have a mortgage. So little did we know that this would suddenly happen for us. And so that evening, May 8th, I hope you'll all come. The Shafetz family will be here, and we're going to have a special service to honor Michael and honor their family and the extraordinarily generous donation they've made and ensuring our survival for many years to come. So please put that day in your calendar, and more details to follow. And
I'm sorry, I just wanted to add something when you're finished, sir.
come on up and add something.
I just wanted to say that before the Bernard Nelson Award, we're going to have a potluck dinner, and we'd love to have you all join us for that too.
Thank you. Good addition.
Yeah.
So plan on being at the temple often for the next few weeks. And thank you to the members of Hadassah. Phyllis, Kim spoke beautifully, and members of Hadassah that made our service so inspiring this evening, and such a wonderful commemoration of a wonderful organization. And thank you to Hadassah for sponsoring the Oneg following the service. And I believe that's it. So now we're going to continue with, as we do every year, a very, very moving reading in the back of almost at the very back of our pamphlets, called "I Was a Witness to Israel's Independence" by Golda Meir. And every year we miss Agnes Bales, who was the one who would always do this reading for us, and with her Hungarian accent, and it was so very meaningful. And she can no longer be with us to do this reading, but we have Phyllis Burlow and Val Jacobs. Come on up.
On Friday, May 14, 1948, the 5th of Iyar 5708, the Jewish state would come into being, its population numbering 650,000. Its chance of surviving its birth depending on whether or not the Yishuv could meet the assault of 5 Arab enemies actively aiding by Palestine's 1 million Arabs.
The phone rang in my room. A car was waiting to take me to the museum for the proclamation ceremony. It had been decided to hold the ceremony at the Tel Aviv Museum, not because it was such an imposing building, which it wasn't, but because it was small enough to be guarded easily. A large crowd was already waiting outside the museum by the time I arrived.
At exactly 4 p.m., the ceremony began. Ben Gurion, wearing a dark suit and tie, stood up and rapped a gavel. According to the plan, this was to be the signal for the orchestra, tucked away in a second-floor gallery, to play Hatikva. But something went wrong, and there was no music.
Spontaneously, we rose to our feet and sang the national anthem. Ben Gurion cleared his throat and said quietly, "I shall now read the scroll of independence." It took him only a quarter of an hour to read the entire proclamation. He read it slowly and very clearly. I remember his voice changing and rising a little as he came to this paragraph. Accordingly, we, the members of the National Council, representing the Jewish people in the land of Israel and the Zionist movement, have assembled on the day of the termination of the British Mandate for Palestine, and by virtue of our natural and historic rights, and of the resolution of the General Assembly of the United Nations, we hereby proclaim the establishment of a Jewish state in the land of Israel, the State of Israel.
The State of Israel. My eyes filled with tears and my hands shook. We had done it. We had brought the Jewish state into existence, and I, Golda Mabovich Meyerson, had lived to see the day. Whatever happened now, whatever price any of us would have to pay for it, we had recreated the Jewish national home. The long exile was over. Now we were a nation like other nations, mastered for the first time in 20 centuries of our own destiny. The dream had come true, too late to save those who had perished in the Holocaust, but not too late for the generations to come. So long as still within the inmost heart a Jewish spirit sings, so long as the eye looks eastward, gazing towards Zion, our hope is not lost. That hope of 2 millennia to be a free people in our land, the land of Zion and Jerusalem.
Now please rise for Hatikvah.
Michael, could you hold me?
Ren, could you come up, please? And Robin?
Nefesh Yehudi Omiya Ulfate Mizrach Kadima Ain Zion Sophia Uno Avda Tikvatenu Atikva Shnot Apayim Liotam Chavchi Be'atzenu Eretz Zion Yerushalayim Liotam Chavchi Be'atzenu Eretz Zion Yerushalayim.
Shabbat Shalom.
Shalom.